Playback, The Lost Tapes. Originally written and voiced by Musical Pumpkin. It was so sudden, the fall. The world was just trudging on as it would. I myself was out with my dog. It was a sunny day at the park, and there were other dogs there for him to play with. We ended up talking to this lady, and who happened to have a dog as well. Our two four-legged friends took to playing, so we got to chatting. Then there was a scream. I spun around to see another woman who was clutching her bleeding neck, staggering in our direction. There was a large man wearing this fiendish, almost excited expression. He walked beside her, and in a single swift stroke, he swung out his arm, and her head came off like a cork ripped from a bottle. It was like a switch was flipped. Suddenly, the bright and sunny day became a well-lit bloodbath. We just ran. Jump ahead a few months, and I am huddled with a few buddies, freezing my ass off in a trench. Those things had charged our lines several times now. We hit them with a torrent of machine gun fire, but it was only to slow them down. The enemy attacks swiftly and violently. They attack in a flurry of claws, fangs, and animalistic rage. In every trench they jump into, they leave nothing but bodies. I have known men one night, and I have paid my respects to their graves the next. I have just barely drifted off into a deep sleep, only to have it broken by a distant, inhuman roar. I've assisted in laying out dozens of feet's worth of razor wire, only to watch them jump and avoid it. I have seen them wade through a storm of gunfire. It wasn't even the ones that looked like us that were the most trouble, but the ones that we couldn't see, or the ones that flew above the dark of the battlefield. They swarm our fortifications with all manner of unimagined horror, and tear apart anyone in their way. As they say on the front, you are either fighting or you are dead. I have seen so much blood splattered, I thought it replaced the rain. The tide was turned when the first knight himself emerged from the shadows. He stood awash in the light of the moon, his face frozen with shame. He knew that this was not the way, and with a wave of his hand, summoned his lieutenants and their respective covens to our aid. The war was bloody. As much ground taken or lost was as much ground needed to bury the dead. In the aftermath of the war, mankind and their newfound allies worked together to pick up the pieces. In the shadow of spite and hatred, however rightful, this alliance grew strong. Our time alongside them has been interesting. Modern man had always been of the belief that vampires were nothing more than myth. But that wasn't the end of it. It is many years later, and there are those who can't accept the war's over. splinter factions still loyal to an ancient cause work tirelessly in the shadows to undo the pillars mankind stands upon. While on the other hand, humanity and its new friends work to rebuild. In recent months, our old enemy has slowly been clawing their way back. I and several other Red Bloods have been tracking a rogue group of vamps operating in our area. We suspect they are connected to one of the covens we fought during the war. I guess we'll see whether that's conclusive or inconclusive. We got wind of their presence here after finding a group of Canberras on vacation. Unfortunately, it was cut short. We suspect there were 5 campers. We only found 3 bodies. The other 2 have either been turned or dead. It's been less than a week. They've probably been drained by now. Even after all this time, after the war, after the fall, blood still flows, fangs still drink, and bullets get forged and then they get used. All of this, everything, how far we've come, in the blink of an eye, all but gone. God help us.